welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. So today I have a little haul video for you guys. I have a few things that I've gotten from eBay that have finally come in. We know eBay can take forever on a normal basis, but with COVID it took even longer. And then I have a couple of things from Amazon, and they are just some lighting purchases that I made. And then I have something from Koko and Claire that I'm really excited to share with you guys. And I was actually suggested it by Talia from Talia's Nail Tales, and she has a coupon code for Koko and Claire. I will link that below for you guys. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing that I am going to open up is from Amazon, and it is a new desk light. So I will put an image here or a clip of what my current desk light is. It is another one from, it wasn't from Amazon, excuse me, it was from eBay, and I purchased it a long time ago, but it's starting to kind of conk out on me. I really liked it, but I've seen this one on Amazon and I thought I would give it a try, so I'm really excited to open this up. Alright guys, so let's pop this baby open. It is a very tiny lamp. I actually thought it was going to be a bit bigger, but it is a USB adapter, so you do have to have the phone, you know, the charging adapter that we would normally use to plug our phones in. They don't provide that, obviously, so it comes with that adapter right there, but we have tons of those laying around our house from all of our phones and other electronics, so that's not an issue. And it is an 18-watt LED clamp light, so it actually clamps onto the end of the desk with a clamp here. We've all seen these before. You just simply unscrew it and then screw it onto the end of the desk. Now the issue I'm going to have with this is I actually don't really have an area to clamp this on, because when I purchased it, I don't know what I was thinking. My current desk lamp sits on top of my desk, so I'm going to have to try to MacGyver this. What I'm hoping is that the swivel part, which is this part here, this comes with the wand, and it actually seems very strong. Like, I don't think that it's going to be an issue. It seems very, very strong. I'll take it out of the packaging here. So what I was hoping was that this would be long enough that I could actually clamp it onto the side of my desk and then just kind of swivel it around, but I'm going to have to play with that and see if that works. And here is the actual lighting bar. So I'm hoping that it's going to be bright enough. I will have to let you guys know when I set it up. But it was $39.99, so it wasn't really super cheap. I just read all of the reviews, and it seems to be something that a lot of people were purchasing for doing lashes or nails or tattooing. So it just seemed like a really good purchase. So I will set that up and let you know how that goes. So this one is a bit of a bigger box. This is again from Amazon, and it is another lighting purchase. So I actually mentioned this one. I'm just cutting it open if you're wondering why I'm looking down. I've got my little blade here. So I actually mentioned this one in my top 10 tips video. And again, I'll mention it, that it was recommended by a gal by the name of, well, her name is Jen. She has an amazing name. But her Instagram name is Gel Nails by Jen Gamble. So I have been admiring her photos and just how bright they were, and they just looked really, really good. So I had asked her a little bit ago what she was using for lighting, and she recommended this magnifying light. So I'm going to unbox this and show you what I got. So just as I mentioned, it is a magnifying ring light. So it has the magnifier in the center part here. It clamps onto the desk. I'm very excited to use this. Now this one is It has a lot longer of an arm, so I actually will be able to clamp it on the end of my desk. And what Jen said was that she actually just swings it around when she wants to use it. Sometimes she will use it for nails, and then other times she will just use it for photos. So I'm kind of excited to open this up and see what is inside. So the first thing that I want to say is that it is very well packaged. It looks like a really good product, and everything is packaged very well. Everything is wrapped in our little bubble wrap. So here we have the actual lamp itself. I'm just gonna take it out of the bubble wrap. And like I said, it has a much longer arm, as you can see. It's got quite a long arm, so I don't think I'm going to have a problem using this at all. Again, it is a USB adapter, so we do have to have that other, I forget what they're called, but the end that you plug this into in order to plug it into your wall. You do have to have one of those on hand. And then again, this is just the clamp here that clamps onto the end of the desk. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It looks like a great lamp. I'm very excited to use this. Sorry, I'm like totally covering my face. But I'm very excited to use this. And again, it was packaged well. The quality, it had very good reviews. So I ended up getting this for $60, which I think is actually really not a bad price at all. It came with Amazon Prime, and I literally got it the very next day. The other lamp, I would say, did take a little bit longer, but that was closer to the beginning or the middle of dealing with all this COVID and coronavirus stuff. So I think that's why things have kind of settled down now a little bit in certain areas. So it did come very quickly, and for 60 bucks, I think it's going to be amazing. So now I'm going to move into the eBay items, and of course, I will always tell anyone who's going to order from eBay, you have to be prepared that your items may not come for 1 month, 2 months, sometimes 3 months. I've had things show up. So you have to be patient if you're ordering things from eBay, but oftentimes I will compare a purchase. If it's something that I'm not needing immediately, I will compare through Amazon and through eBay, and it's always cheaper through eBay. So if you're wanting to save a little bit of money and you have the time to wait, I would say go with eBay on some of the items. But I love the quickness of Amazon. I love the security behind Amazon. So I don't know about you guys, but I am a complete brush hoarder. I probably have, I don't know, 50 different brushes. I cannot stop buying brushes. And that goes for nail art brushes, acrylic brushes, gel application brushes, basically any type of brushes that I can use in my studio. So I found these 3 sets on eBay, and of course I needed to try them all. So the one thing that I will say that I noticed right off the bat was that these guys were a lot longer. Now for me, when I'm hand painting anything, I actually prefer the longer handles, but I know a lot of people who actually prefer the shorter handles. So it's a great way to try both of them. They were not very expensive at all, and they all look like they're pretty good quality. So we'll start with this one here. So we've got 3 different sizes. I'm just gonna move these guys. There's 3 different sizes. We've got a longer, a medium, and a shorter. So I am always looking for really good nail art brushes. I'm just gonna pop these plastic protectors off just so that you can get a little bit of a better idea of what they look like. So oftentimes when I get nail art brushes, I end up having to cut them to custom make them the way that I want. So I was really trying to find some that I could just use as they are. And honestly, these ones so far, they look like they're thin enough. I don't think that I'm going to have to cut them at all. The bristles are fairly soft. And the cool thing about these handles is they actually have this texture on them that I think is supposed to be just to help you hold the brush maybe. The one thing that I have always mentioned in all of my videos when I'm doing nail art and I'm using any kind of paintbrush is that I highly recommend, if you are struggling with any type of wrist issues, carpal tunnel issues, any kind of straining, that you invest in some of these foam brush grips. So these are the things that we used when we were in school and just learning to write, and it just slides over. Now, depending on the size of your brush, they may be a little tight or they may be a little loose. If they're loose, I just actually take some electrical tape and wrap it around the brush, and that way it just kind of makes the brush a little thicker for this to slide on. I can see that this one I'll have to work at a little bit just to get it on, but it will fit. Because they're foam, they do stretch, and I will say that it is a lifesaver. I find when I am working with nail art brushes, especially the really, really, really thin ones, I find just having to hold it so small in my hand, it really strains my hand, it strains my wrist, and it is so painful. So adding the thickness with this little foam thing makes a huge difference. If you have any issues, find some of these because they are a lifesaver for sure. So I'm excited to try these, like I said. Now these come just with a clear handle, and it's just got some pretty little blue and pink sparkles in them. Actually, when I first ordered them, on the image, I actually thought that they were the ones with water in them, that when you tilted them, the glitter kind of slid around, and they're not. It's really not a big deal. I don't really care. I'm just looking forward to trying the bristles. Next, we've got these ones, which look very, very similar. The brush part looks very similar. I'm going to pop this guy open. Of course, I liked how this one looked because they have rose gold glitter in them. So again, I'm just going to pop those plastic protectors off and take a look. They are very, very similar, if not almost identical. Let me compare these two here, the two larger ones. So the brushes are just slightly different. Very, very hard to tell the difference. Again, they're fairly soft and thin. I don't think I'm going to have to do any cutting. I do like the handle on these better just because I like the rose gold, but again, as mentioned before, I actually prefer a longer handled brush, so I'm going to have to test these ones out and see what they are like. And next we have these guys, which are a chrome kind of rainbow unicorn handle. So these ones actually came packaged separately instead of together. Not a big deal, doesn't make a difference, just more wrapping to undo. Again, they come with the plastic protector, so I'm just going to take all these out of the packages. All right, so again, very similar to the other brushes. I will bring the other two large ones and compare them. Again, the bristles on the brushes look very much the same, if not identical. I will say that this one here on the longer, the unicorn one, it does look like the bristles are just a smidgen longer. And as always, guys, when you are first opening up any brushes, they're going to have that little tiny bit of glue, so you're going to need to break that glue off. You can sometimes just take it off by cleaning with water, or oftentimes I'll just dip them in a little bit of alcohol just to kind of get that glue out of there if you find that it's kind of chunky and not just flaking out when you just sort of play with it. But they look very similar. This one does have kind of a bent, oh, I just pulled it off. So it did have like a little piece of hair there that was kind of bent, but yeah, they look very similar. I think I'm just going to be so much more used to using these ones because they have a longer handle on them. But I am so excited to start using these again. I have so many brushes and I can't get enough of them. So the next purchase that I made from eBay was these rose gold tweezers. So I purchased 4 of them because I actually wanted some of them for my personal use. And then I purchased, obviously, some to use in the nail salon. So I've already taken this one out of the package, but they came very quickly. I will say these ones only took maybe 2 weeks, if maybe it was even a week. I can double check for you, but they came so fast, and I love the quality of them. They, first of all, are packaged very nicely. They kind of on the heavy side. I mean, not so heavy that you would, be straining or anything like that, but the metal just feels like a very good quality. They're super pointy. I don't know if you guys can see, they're very pointy and they go together very well. So sometimes some of the tweezers that I have purchased in the past, they just don't, you kind of have to bend them and MacGyver them to actually touch properly, and these ones are not like that. Now they also have the ones that are curved, and I do have a pair of those. I just honestly can't find them right now. Again, they were not overly expensive, so definitely a purchase that you need to have if you are wanting some rose gold tweezers. Next, I'm moving on to some little stickers that I got from eBay as well. So these are some holographic, very large butterfly stickers. I had seen a lot of photos recently with these type of stickers and I thought they looked amazing. So obviously your client is going to have quite a long nail. Even my nail, they would not fit. So I have a few clients that these would work on, but they are not going to work for everyone. But the cool thing is that they are separate. So if you look really closely, you can see that these are actually two separate stickers. So what you would do is you would take them and put them on, you know, one on this side and then one on this side, and together they would create a single butterfly. Or you could just do one and just have half a butterfly kind of off of half the nail. So I obviously love that they are holographic, and then you've got the gold, you've got the silver holographic, you've got regular plain silver. There's so many different colors, and they look like they're very, very sticky and very thin. I would say, yeah, they are quite thin. So I think they will work very well. So I'm just going to try and see if I can take one off and see how easy it is. I'm going to imagine that all of these little holes here that are supposed to be removed are probably going to be a little tricky, but if you can peel it off, let's see how easy it is. I think that the product in itself is super, super thin, so it might be a little bit of a trick to kind of getting it off, because I find when they cut through the paper, or the image, they end up cutting into the paper, and sometimes it's hard to separate, but there we go, I've got it. So yes, it is going to be a little bit tricky to get all those little pieces out, but I'm going to attempt to try to do it and stick it to my nail. Okay guys, as you could see, that was not really an easy task to get all those little cutouts pulled out, but I will say they are super, super thin. It will be super easy to put top coat over this. They're laying relatively flat. There maybe are a few areas that I would have to kind of burnish down a little bit, but other than that, I'm not gonna lie, these are gonna be awesome to put on people's nails. And all I have to say is thank God for these little tweezers, because without these, I don't know how applying those butterfly stickers would really go. And next on the list from eBay are just some water decals. I love water decals for so many things. You can literally just put these little flowers or these little greenery pieces on a solid color nail. I absolutely love adding them to the wood grain designs. I actually just did a video with water decals on top of acrylic wood grain design. I'll post the link to that below. So I just got this pack again from eBay. Super cheap. I can't remember how much, but they're never expensive. So I'll show you them individually. I've got this one here. It's got okay guys, I am not a florist or a gardener whatsoever, so I will not be able to tell you the names of these flowers at all, but I can just show you them. So this one here, it looks like it's got more like kind of feathery type of greenery, really pretty. And then this one here, again with some greenery, some leaves. And this one is more like feathers and greenery. This one is really pretty. I'm not a huge yellow or orange person, but I absolutely loved the vibrancy of these ones. So I'm looking forward to using those. Again, some more little red ones and some little yellow ones. These are very cool. I love the colors of them, so I'm excited to use those as well. It's all just leaves and greenery. And of course, I had to get some butterflies because butterflies are really popular this season. And then these ones, these are very vintage, which I love vintage flowers. So excited to use them. I find the colors in these to be very vibrant, so I'm really excited to use them. And it also looks like, I'm just going to peel this one off. So one thing that you want to look for when you get water decals, I don't know if it's going to show it, but I'm going to try to turn it so that you can see. So these water decals actually are sealed around each individual item. So I have actually purchased water decals in the past where that glue part that kind of seals in the image is actually over the entire package. So you have to individually cut out your images, which is a pain in the butt. Ones like this, as you can see when I turn, they get shiny and then the paper is dull. So the shininess is where the glue is. So you want ones like this, which obviously you can't really pick and choose when you're looking at them on eBay. They don't show you this, but you want to make sure that they're like this so that when you cut, you just can cut the paper like this and then they just slide off the paper in the perfect shape. So like I said, I've run into a few problems where I've had to cut them out individually, and that is really time consuming and just a pain in the butt. So these are all very good. I'm looking forward to them. They look thin. I think they're going to be amazing. I have posted in a few other videos that when I'm using water decals, that if the decal is too large for the nail and when you go to lay it down, it does not lay flat and you get kind of creasing and things like that, a little trick is that you will make little slits here and there. So on this one, I would make a slit here, a slit here, a slit here, and a slit here, not all the way through. And then when it goes to lay down, you don't get any of that creasing. It does not distort the image. And so it just helps that when you go to top coat, you don't have to put so many layers because of all those bumps. So I'm curious, guys, when you are doing nail art with like floral patterns and things like that, do you prefer to use decals, like water decals, or do you prefer to use stamping? Let me know in the comment section below. So the last thing that I purchased from eBay was this little jar of teensy tiny little iridescent stars. They are so freaking cute. They are so tiny. Thank God I have these tweezers today, guys, because I'm using them for pretty much everything. So I'm just going to pop this off, and I'll even just show you on here. They're so tiny, which I love. I actually have some holographic silver ones that are very tiny, but I don't even think they're this small. So these would be something that you could actually add into a glitter mix or just add individually. I cannot get over, seriously, how tiny they are. This is how small. Look at how tiny that is. I don't know if you can see it on my nail, but it is so teensy. So I'm very excited to use these. So the next little package is from Koko and Claire, and I'm very excited to open this up because I have been using the Luminara from Social Claus pigment forever, and I've finally run out. Honestly, guys, that little jar lasted me probably 5 years. I don't even know. It was like the original chrome, unicorn chrome that came out, and I absolutely love the color. And Talia recently did a video on her Instagram stories, and there's 3 different colors of unicorn chrome type of pigments from Koko and Claire, and they all 3 looked very comparable to the one from Social Claus. So I was like, I need to order it. As I mentioned in my intro, Talia has a coupon code. I will post that here for you guys, and I'll link it below. But let me open this box and show you what's inside. Okay, guys, so I opened the box before I actually started filming this part, and hello, it's freaking pink. So they win me right away. Right away, they have won. They even have pink foam that they stuff their box. I can't even. Everybody knows I love pink. So it's a cute little box. It has their name and their handles for all their social media, and it says, "Hey gorgeous, show off those pretty nails," and then it has their hashtag to use. So I can't wait to use this stuff and use their hashtag. And it also comes with a silicone tool. So first I'm going to get into the actual chromes because, hello, I'm excited about them. So let's open these guys up. So it's a cute little container. I love the gold. I love that it's square. It's kind of unique. It's a very unique little container. I don't have anything like this in any of my nail art collections. And on top, it just says Koko and Claire Luxury Gel Nail Lacquer, established in 2018, and it has their little logo on it. So let's open this up because I cannot wait any longer. So it's kind of nice. They have a little, I don't know what you call these, but they're for like travel. So it just makes sure that it doesn't spill. And look at that. Ooh, la, la, la. Okay, I'm just gonna like test them on my hand for now because I'm going to actually swatch them over white and black. Guys, look at that. It is so shiny. So this one has a few different tones. It's kind of purpley, pinky, bluish, and gold. So that's this guy. I don't know, there might be a name on the bottom of this one because like I said, there are 3 separate ones. So let me see if this one has the name on the bottom. So this one says Eternity. So this one is called Eternity. And now I'm going to open this one, which is called Signature K and C. So I'm assuming Koko and Claire, Signature Koko and Claire. So let's take a look at this guy. Ooh, very, very cool. I know that they're so hard to see in the camera. Again, I'm just going to rub that on my skin. Oh, this one I think is very similar. Oh yes, it's very similar to my Joann's one. I'm going to pull that out and show you that one. Okay, so I also have the Joann's Chrome, it's called Unicorn, and it also has that really kind of pink hue to it. I'm just gonna dip a little bit in there and I'll put it next to that. I will say that what I think the difference is, the Koko and Claire one is more, it's finer. I think it's a lot finer. This one is more of like a shimmer. It's not quite as fine. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to test both of them together at one point and see, but you guys, I cannot get enough of the chromes. I absolutely love them. And the last one is called Bougie. Cute name. So let's pop this baby open and see what it's like. Okay, I think this one is the one that I was looking for. I believe that this is very close to the one from Social Claus. So I'm just, again, going to kind of give a little zhuzh onto my skin here and see. And I'm going to grab my Social Claus one and compare them. Okay, you guys, so as I said, I have the Social Claus Luminara Aurora. Oh geez, Luminara Aurora is what it's called. And I have so little left. I just have that tiny, tiny bit there. As you can see, if you can see the particles, they're kind of floating around. That's just how light and airy and fine these guys are. So well, it's kind of hard to tell because the Koko and Claire container is white. So they look different with white, but I can't even dip my finger in there. So let me just FYI, I sanitized and cleaned all of my fingers and hands before I did this because I knew I would be working with stuff. It's different. No, it's not even the same at all. Again, the Koko and Claire one seems to be a lot finer. And this Luminara one is a little chunkier, I guess. You wouldn't even call it chunky, but it's just not quite as fine. They are all so beautiful though. So, so beautiful. I cannot wait to swatch them for you guys over black and white and show you the difference. All right, and as I mentioned earlier, when I opened the box, the Koko and Claire one comes with also a little silicone applicator. So it's a beautiful little applicator with gold, and it's got some engraving here. It's really, really pretty. And it is just your typical little silicone tool. Now let me see. This one is actually some of them that I've bought in the past are really flimsy and so flimsy that you can't even really put a lot of pressure. This one has a firm, definitely a firm, I don't know, whatever you want to say. It's firm. It's firmer. So I think it'll be way easier with this than some of my other little flimsy ones to really burnish that pigment in. And the other thing is, I believe that they created their pots this way for a reason. So normally we would use, like, you know, sometimes you can use a little finger condom or you can use a little eyeshadow applicator, but this little jar is so tiny that you really would need to use this applicator to kind of get in there. You could use an eyeshadow one, but it wouldn't go in at the right angle. So definitely I'm going to be using this guy when I do my swatching and showing you how all of the colors look. Alright guys, that is it for all of the items in this haul video. I hope that you enjoyed it. My favorite thing is definitely the Koko and Claire pigments because I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to find something comparable to the Luminara, and I have found it. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up to Koko and Claire. Their pigments are amazing. I can't wait to use them on clients, and really the cost is not that bad at all. So I will link everything for you below as usual. If you know anyone else who would like to watch this video, please share it with them. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who is watching my videos and helping me to reach those 4,000 of watched hours that I need to get to in order to be monetized. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, don't forget to leave them below for me. And as always, guys, have an amazing day.